talking to Madeleine and Rikard from Eleine. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, great to be here.
Thank you so much.
Now, from where I sit, you seem to form and get into a first album quite quickly. Just tell us about the beginnings of the band.
We've been active since 2014. Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
It has in only 6 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, the
Thinking
debut
about it.
album came out in 2015.
Yeah, exactly. So we released 2 full-length albums and 1 EP, and now the upcoming 3rd full-length album, Dancing in Hell.
How was the early days? Were you able to get out there and tour much? I know that reasonably early on you scored a big tour with Moonspell. Tell us about that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It was like in 2016 we managed to get that tour, and it was all thanks to Madeleine writing to Fernando, the singer of Moonspell.
Yeah. That was very cool. I mean, that was a very exciting year because, I mean, we released our first album in 15. And then in 2016, we got the big opportunity to play at Sweden Rock Festival. That was huge for us. I mean, a pretty new band, and we get that chance. And Sweden Rock is a pretty big deal up here, at least. And like, it's one of the biggest festivals. And so we got that. In the meantime, I'd been just reaching out, you know, and we've always been working like, why not just ask? Because if you don't ask, you never get an answer. And the worst thing you can get is a no, right? Yeah. So I just figured that I've listened to Moonspell when I was a teenager. I liked their music. And, I mean, why not just try to reach out? So I wrote Fernando. And I remember that I actually wrote that you will probably never read this. But in case, if you do, I want to present to you our new single, Break, Take, Live. Because that was the first single we released as completely independent in 2016, because we really wanted to get something out there for the Sweden Rock Festival, and after our first album, we just wanted something to be a little bit fresh as a new band, you know. And yeah, he wrote back pretty quick, and he was like, I really like this. You should come along on the European tour. And that was like, Jesus, is this happening?
Yes,
So
pretty unreal.
Cool. Yeah. I'm very grateful for that, and we all are. So yeah, memories for life.
Yeah, we learned a lot on that tour.
Yeah, we did.
It's kind of it's kind of like a big test for you as an aspiring musician to head out on such a big tour or such a serious tour, like early on in your career. And it was like after the tour, we were like, yeah, this is totally our bag.
And then we'd been through like everything on that tour. I mean, we had to plan everything on our own. We didn't went on a nightliner the first thing we did, because we had to go on our own, and we rented a small van and we drove. I think it ended up in like 9,000 kilometers in total for us driving on our own. It was like crazy in just 2 weeks. So yeah, it's been a lot, and it's just great. I mean, we're so grateful for having that first tour.
Oh yeah.
As the first tour.
Yeah.
Tell us about a bit later on being invited to Japan. How did that come about? That must have been a bit surreal as well.
Wow.
Totally surreal.
Yeah,
what was like?
Yeah, we applied for, because there's this Export Music Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super great guys.
Yeah, that's the thing, Sweden. They work a lot with exporting music in all different kinds of ways and all the genres and everything. And we heard, our friend Christian heard that I think they had something to do in Japan with some kind of festival, and we had to look into this. So we applied and explained what we've done and what we wanted to do with Eleine in the future. And since this is a festival they have in Tokyo, and it's the Creative Man Productions, they're pretty big. Yeah, it's like one of the biggest in Japan. They're the ones who's choosing all the bands, and he really liked it. And we were like, okay, so we're going to Japan.
Yeah, super like, surreal.
Yeah, very surreal.
Madeleine and I are both big fans of anime. And we already loved Japan before we even went there. and we were like super prepared for how it was going to be. And when we got there, it was like exactly the way as we thought it would be.
Everything we've dreamed of.
Yeah, thanks to all the culture we learned through the majestic thing that is anime. I mean, it's fantastic how much they put into anime. I mean, it's amazing. So, well, we had a great time in Japan. That's what I'm talking about, not anime.
Yeah, and that gig, we had the great honor of headlining that festival because Creative Man Productions really liked Eleine, and that was a huge compliment. You know, pretty surreal. And what were you thinking of?
What was it called? The
Loud and Metal Mania.
Loud and Metal Mania.
Yeah, it was.
Right, tell us about the Until the End album. That was my introduction to the band. A little bit more recently than that, though. But tell us about that album, how that came about, how that went.
Oh, well, as always, Madeleine and I, we create the music that we feel is right for us to create. We never, as this is Madeleine saying, so I'm hijacking that now.
That's all right.
We never sit down on a Monday and say, what do people want to hear? What is the thing that we should do now? What is popular now? But we only write what feels right to us and whatever comes to mind. And our music is always about empowering others because we know what it's like to be in a bad place. Let's put it at that. And we do know the value of feeling that you're not alone and being empowered. And also, I mean, we're telling stories about our experiences, but we also do notice other people's struggles. And Until the End is all about embracing humanity, focusing on those that are in like serious pain in life, and just those that are really struggling. I mean, those are the deep parts of Until the End.
And with the title track and the track after it, Please, we kind of created a scenario because we wanted people to feel something, because when people feel, they can somehow either relate or at least understand. And that was something we talked about a lot, because we were kind of frustrated at people just scrolling by all of the news. I mean, today in Sweden, for an example, 10 years ago, if someone would be murdered on the street, it would be huge news. It would be over all of the newspapers, everywhere. People would be like stopping the real life for that happening. But today, it's like people just scroll by. And that was something we discussed a lot, because it's pretty frustrating to just, we don't want people to dig too deep down in all of the sad news and get all depressed, but at the same time, you can't be like just pushing away everything and just only focus on your own life and like don't feel any humanity at all. So,
like totally desensitized.
Yeah. So I'm very glad about that album, because I really felt we got so much out of us, you know.
A lot of mental illness also. Like there's one track that really puts it on the nose there with the title, and that title is Sanity. I mean, that is like a spot on thing. And for me, that was like writing about I suffered from anorexia when I was younger, and that was kind of an outlet for that. And but it's not on the nose, that it's not about anorexia, it's about mental issues and mental health. And I do know that a lot of people have related to that song, and Break, Take, Live in particular, that is also on that album. We do know that we had a fan that reached out to us, and he said that track helped him out of drug addiction. And that is just like
a pretty serious one.
Yeah,
like
not
really.
A light one, but a real serious one. And to hear that is just like mind blowing. But also at the same time, it is why we do what we do. As I said in the beginning, we know what it's like to be in a bad place, and we know the value of feeling that you're not alone, and getting these words and power, being empowered by others that you can actually survive this.
Briefly touch on the EP after that. I have to say, when I saw Mein Herz brennt on there, I went, okay. I'm a big Rammstein fan here, so don't worry about that. But I have to say, when I saw that, I thought, that's a bit interesting. So tell us about the choice of that.
Well, first of all, it really did fit into the EP. Like, it did fit so well with Enemies of Burn. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we chose that song because Rammstein has been such a big inspiration to both Madeleine and myself for years. So both Madeleine and I have gotten like empowered from Rammstein, the same thing that we're doing to others now. So this was our little way of saying thanks to Rammstein for being a great inspiration.
Yeah, like a small tribute.
Like a small tribute, yeah. And also, I have German heritage, so.
Yeah, it felt kind of natural to just to do that one.
It's fun for me on two levels. And as you say, Madeleine, it's a very natural process.
Yeah, it was.
Right, let's get on to this latest album then, Dancing in Hell. Tell us about when you started getting things ready for this and how it proceeded. Let's hear it from you.
When inspiration hit us.
Yeah,
yes.
when inspiration struck. Yeah.
Struck. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
We got pretty inspired in fall, winter 2018. I do remember the first one we wrote was All Shall Burn.
Yeah.
And that was in late November. It was. So, and from that way on, I mean, we just continued when we felt that, we're inspired and we do know this will be a third album, and we pretty fast just felt that when we written All Shall Burn, we did feel what the thread was supposed to be in the album. It also, boring answer perhaps, but it felt so natural because we've been through a lot, and with this first track, All Shall Burn, and then after that, Dancing in Hell came as the title track. I mean, it just felt like, yes, this is us telling...
Wait a minute, didn't we write Enemies first?
No.
We didn't?
It was All Shall Burn, Dancing in Hell, Enemies.
Really?
Yes. I remember it like was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I totally believe you.
Yeah, because,
no, 100%.
I do remember the title track's process. That was in like January, February, when I went through all this anxiety with my dog. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we released the EP a year after that.
Yes, exactly.
Time Jesus Christ. I'm making a fool out of myself.
No, it's all right. So that was when it started. And then we just continued to write during 2019. And, I mean, we really felt that we really was so happy with the result. I mean, not because we showed anyone, because we just felt that, yes, this is what the third album will be.
Yeah.
And then we felt, we want to share this already. We want to share some of it. So that's when the idea of the EP came up. That is why we released the EP All Shall Burn last year. So
just wanted to get something out there to keep product out there, keep in people's faces?
Well, in part, sure. But also to like bridge between, until the end and Dancing in Hell.
Yeah.
To make that natural bridge for us, you know when you're working out and you work out for like a year and you diet for a year, you're gonna hopefully look better when the year is over. But if people haven't seen you during that year, the change will be massive, you know. But for you, it's been a natural progress. And we thought that this All Shall Burn EP would be a nice bridge between the two albums.
Yeah, and also for the fans, because, I mean, we, as a musician and writing music, you do not appreciate after releasing a full album with thousands of hours of work behind it. Of course, it's a compliment when people say they want more.
Yeah,
but starting to ask after 2 months after the release when is the next music tracks coming up? It's like, we put our entire lives into this album. Can you please just enjoy it for a while? But we did feel that we wanted to give our fans something as well, because we were into this. We were working our asses off. Like we just put all of ourselves into this album. So putting this out there and also get the opportunity to make this cover and the symphonic tracks as well. It just felt like something fun as well in between, you know, like a little tree in some way. It was nice for us as well.
It really was. And like with Dancing in Hell, with writing music and everything, it all boils down to the thing that has been our key motivator through all of our career, and that is staying true. To stay true to yourself, to stay true to what you believe in, and staying true to your music. Because this platform that you're given as an artist is a rare platform to have, and you need to use it in a good way. And that's why we spread positivity, we spread joy, we spread, of course, metal and unity and strength.
Okay, so we're building up to the release of this in November 24, isn't it?
27.
Maybe it's 24 there.
No, 27. That's right. I had it written down here somewhere. Right. So it's a big album. It's bold. It's, as I would say, all killer, no filler.
All right.
Did you have any tracks that didn't make it to the album?
No, not in that way.
Not full tracks.
The thing is that it works like this when we're writing music, is that we sometimes write a song from a melody that Madeleine came up with, like during the night or over the day. Or maybe it's me riffing on the guitar, as I always fucking do. Or maybe I create a tidbit on the piano, or we come up with something together, like a piece of lyric, and like, oh, we feel this when we read that. So, I mean, it's always a different way we're writing music.
Yeah, and every track just kind of becomes like your baby.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have some ideas that, no, they didn't turn out to be full songs for this album because it didn't feel right. So, but I mean, we save it all. Who knows? But no full tracks that didn't make it, because this came pretty natural.
Yeah, that was what I was going to get to. As you said, like we have no full tracks that didn't make the cut, but we do have tracks now, like beginning of tracks for upcoming stuff. So that's really good.
I noticed you've got an album release gig organised. Now, with all that's happening at the moment, was that really hard to organise?
It's not been easy. But we have these restrictions in Sweden that you're allowed to be 50 people in the audience maximum.
Sitting down or
standing up. But since we do know how people might be sometimes, we decided pretty quick that we should have it in a theater with seats. Because then it becomes natural for people to keep the distance. They sit down. Perhaps they will stand up in the end, but no one will run around, because you don't do that.
No.
And if anybody would, I would let them know from the stage and tell them to sit still, because we felt that this album deserves a special evening, and most of all, we wanted to do something for our fans, because we have Patreon. That is our official fan club. And we stay in touch a lot with our patrons. And I've felt that this pandemic has hit hard on us musicians, of course, but seriously, the fans. I mean, some fans really do have, like, our music and others' music as an escape from shit in life, or their whatever. I mean, they feel happy going to a concert, listening to the music. And if you only have the music and no concerts, I've just noticed that I sense a small depression over everyone and a frustration. So we really want to do this for the fans, and they did really appreciate it, because it was sold out within a day or two. So, I mean, Yeah, and they also felt safe with us organizing this. And
that's the thing. When we got this opportunity when we have this opportunity to do this event and do it safe, that is the key point here. That we're able to do it safe. It's a theater that it's a very old theater in our hometown, Landskrona, and it's pretty big. So I mean, there's well enough space for people to be. And that's the way we want it also, because we don't want to jeopardize anything or anyone. And everything is according to rule. Everything is according to restrictions.
Yeah, it's
so
gonna be fun.
Yeah, we saw an opportunity to be able to safely spread joy and not germs. You know? So this is going to be a major event on a small scale.
Yeah.
And we don't really care how many people are in the audience, to be honest. We just want to give something to our fans that are able to get there. And we do have fans that are from abroad that are like feeling so bad over that they can't that they can't come. And we've been saying to everyone that you should not be sad. You should only come if you can. And my friend, this will not be the last gig.
Nope.
This will not be the last gig. We will come and see you so you can come and see us.
Now, some bands these days are doing live streams. Has there been any discussion about doing that with Eleine?
Discussions, but it's nothing that we're keen on.
Right, let's talk about some of the tracks on the album. I notice it's Ava of Death.
It is.
Tell us about that.
Ava is a Persian word that means the voice. It translates to voice or the voice. So it's actually the voice of death, but we wanted a phrase that would be our own. So, I mean, to say, oh, the voice of death, it sounds really corny. But
it does.
Ava of death, I mean, that has a ring to it, you know, a real ring to it. And I mean, we've heard from others, but we also think that Ava of Death is really the ultimate anthem and fight song to claim your place in an always growing legion that is Eleine. I mean, that is the perfect description of the song. We really feel that we've done it with that song. We're really proud of that one.
Memoriam, that's one of my favorites. What can you tell me about that one?
Oh, man. I love Memoriam too. It's fucking hard to play.
We've been talking about Break, Take, Live, right?
Yeah.
We talked about Break, Take, Live that we released in 2016 about how breaking from the life we live and that you should live your life to its fullest and just enjoy it and be happy.
Yeah.
And Memoriam is kind of a reflection of that as well.
It really is. It's hard to summarize because you always have these grand explanations to things, but you don't really need a grand explanation. It is like, if you check out the chorus, this wasted life is mine to live, we'll rise above. I mean, that really points towards when people say, oh, come on, stop chasing that, you're wasting your life, and blah, blah, blah. Well, don't really care about that. We will be remembered for doing what we love. We will be in memoriam for what we love to do. That is like self-reassuring for us also, because we've always chased our dream and our goal, and there's always been people putting one down, and everyone has met people putting you down. You know, everyone, regardless of what your dream is.
Okay, so we're building up to the release of this on November 27. What happens then? I mean, the world is a different world from last year. We've got to plan things differently. What's planned?
Well, we released 2 singles so far, and we have 2 singles left before the album comes out. And after that, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, there's nothing else to answer, unfortunately. I mean, we do have some plans that are not official. We are just hoping for them to be possible. But, I mean, we can all just wait and see. It's just such a boring answer. But, I mean, we do have a lot of plans, and we want so much, but so impossible to say right now.
All right, so the next tour that Eleine do, is that going to be a headline tour? Have you got a support thing that we're sort of working towards?
We do have a support tour planned actually in Sweden.
Yeah.
Because I mean it's in February, March. We just have to wait and see if it's possible to happen.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. But that was the first one we actually went out with official, because we felt that it would probably be possible in Sweden. And that is a support for soil work.
I beg your pardon? Hang on. What was that?
Soil work.
Soil work. You're going out with soil work.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going out with soil work in Sweden for a small tour. And, I mean, at the moment, it is possible for us to do, and we still hope that it will be possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, legendary band.
Yeah.
And the singers from the same town that we're from.
We've been talking here for probably 36 minutes. What haven't we covered?
We've mentioned like Patreon real quick, and that's like real important for us, both financially, but also for building a relationship, closer relationship with fans. It's like an old school fan club, as fan clubs were back in the days.
But the artist runs it.
Yeah, but the artist runs it,
Yeah.
you know? And like we were talking about this just the other day with a sim from Winter Sun. That Patreon, I mean, if I had access to like talk directly to whatever, like James Hetfield or Kurt Cobain when I was younger, you know, that would be like mind blowing to like have that you could like instantly write them. Hey, your work has really helped me through this and that, or it has inspired me, or just the basic, you're awesome. And they reply to you directly. I mean,
for just like $1 a month. That was like just a small amount of candy you bought when you were a kid.
Dude, I bought more than $1 worth of candy.
That's what I mean. It was just a small part. And then you actually could put that into some of the bands and artists you really like and love, and that inspires you. And actually talk to them. It's like, when you're thinking about it, it's crazy. But it's so appreciated from us, because, I mean, we really do love to have that
connection.
Yeah, with our fans. We have so much fun. It's great. We have these virtual meet and greets and
every month.
It's just,
and also we're like, it's you can be more close and personal on there than you can on like Facebook and Instagram, because I mean, just because of trolls in general, you know, people that always everything you do. And this is fun fact, talking about trolls. We did like a YouTube premieres of Evolve Death, meaning that it was like 2 or 3 days before it came out. It was like a premiere video on YouTube. This will air in like 48 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And when it premieres, we're there on the other side of the internet, so to speak, and commenting live with our fans and people watching. But before the video came out and before the song came out, someone had disliked the video. I mean, one person. Yeah, that's stupid as fuck. That's super weird.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Or it's a fantastic person with great humor, because it was funny.
Yeah, okay.
Right, what haven't we covered? I think we've pretty much covered everything, haven't we, guys?
Yeah.
I think so
and
too.
It's been great.
Very nice and pleasant, man. Really natural. We like the natural flow of things. This was nice.
Hey, Madeleine and Rikard, absolutely great chatting to you. Thanks for taking the time out of your day.
Likewise, Mel. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Oh, absolutely. You're welcome. And really best of luck with the new album when it comes out in late November.
It's been a great pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night.